Hey guys, how you going? It's Eli here with episode 3 of All That Entertainment. Today we're very lucky to have Axel on today.
That's it.
Axel is one of the most hardworking, amazing people I know, and I've had the pleasure of working with. And hopefully he can spread some wisdom and knowledge upon you, lovely people out there.
Awesome,
so,
awesome.
um, so I look, if I tried to introduce you, I would miss 25 things that you're talented at. So
Yes, you can.
why don't you just give us a little bit of an introduction into who you are, the little elevator pitch of who is Axel, what do you do, where you're from,
Where do
and
I start? Oh my God.
let's start in Durban.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Okay, so all jokes aside, I am what is known as a polymath or a multi-potentialite. So I have a lot of hobbies and a lot of things that I do and earn income off. So many things ranging from therapeutic stuff, as in I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, psychotherapist, and a whole lot of other therapies. And then I also do drumming circles. I'm also an artist. I do commissioned paint works. I do hairdressing, dreadlocking, dancing, acting, singing, meditational circles, you name it. Like I've done it. Back home, I worked 7 days a week, and I was involved in the arts industry and arts community in South Africa, producing road shows that travel to over 1 million children, teaching them about anti-bullying, food and nutrition, and road safety. And then coming over to Australia in 2015, I just sort of jumped right in and just got involved wherever I could. So I'm now the land leader of Terrigal for Five Lands Walk. I'm also involved with the Multicultural Showcase at Wyong Art House each year. And then I'm involved in a couple other different multicultural events and communities on the Central Coast because it's quite close to my heart. When COVID hit, I had to sort of shut down my multiple choirs that I was running and drum clubs that I was running because of COVID, and had a bit of a sook for a couple of weeks, and then decided to make use of my savings and registered to become a clinical hypnotherapist. So that kind of got me through COVID. And so now I run my clinic Monday to Friday. And then after hours and on weekends, I do whatever creative work I can grab for myself. And I'm trying to find a real balance between the new and the old, which is quite interesting. And then also just being an entrepreneur, launching a new business during COVID has been real. It's like the Wild West out here, man.
Yeah.
Like everything that used to work does not work anymore. So
Yeah.
it's been a real mental and emotional challenge to sort of really launch this company and launch this business that I believe so much in, while trying to now salvage and bring back the old creative things that I used to do now that I can do them again.
Yeah. And just to give you a bit more insight, that was a very short intro for you, because I know that you've also been involved in cooking shows. I know that you used to be a bodybuilder. I know that you do music production. I know that you're involved in theater. I know that, and the list goes on and 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 on and
40,
on and on and on.
45 the last count, I was involved in 45 creative industries, as in I earned a salary in 45 creative industries. It's mental, man.
So it's fair to say you've been around the tracks.
I have ADHD. That's a thing.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. With COVID, everything changed everything. Doesn't matter if you worked a 9 to 5 in a bloody big corporate center, you're working from home. And now they're realizing, hey, we don't even need to pay for these bloody office spaces. You can work from home, and we can save a ton of money.
It's completely obliterated the business landscape as we knew it.
100%. Yeah.
I must be honest, I'm finding that I'm becoming more and more outspoken online and in person about micro businesses, micro enterprises, because I feel like there's a lot of support for small businesses, but for us, like the mom and pop shops, the real micro businesses, a lot of us are not even meeting the lowest requirements for the small business, you know, so we just miss out on so much assistance. So many grants and programs just don't exist for the micro enterprise. And there's a lot of us paying our bills, working for ourselves as sole traders, but we are micro enterprise. And there's just, that word isn't even used. That term is not even known here. And I'm finding I'm getting more and more incensed about it, which is hard for a Libra to, you know, stick with any one thing. But I'm joining local business associations, and even ones that appeal to government. I can't remember what the word is for, but I'm getting involved so that I can actually speak out for micro enterprise, and then make sure that our MPs and our, you know, politicians are hearing about us, so that things can actually be done to support these small businesses, smaller businesses.
Smaller business. That's right.
Yeah, we're tiny businesses.
Very much. I run 3 businesses, and you know, I've received 0 support through COVID. All three industries I work in were shut down over COVID.
It's wild, man.
What do? You know,
it's wild.
I guess that's the point though, right? Like for yourself, you know, you went into hypnotherapy, and you got to, that's what you got to do. You got to become creative about it. You know, you got to go, all right, well, I can't do this. How can I still, I guess, upskill or use an existing skill to pay the bills, or to, you know, take me to that next level? I guess while we're in this sort of realm, like, what do you think is the way to go about upskilling? Like, if say you're a struggling musician, you're a struggling artist, or you just bored at your job, you're sick of working 9 to 5 at some place that don't care about you at all, you know, where's a good place to start, you know, to go, all right, can't do this, want to do that, how do I go from here to there?
Look, apart from, you know, going and studying and getting qualified in something, you know, if you are not able to sort of get funding for that, or even approved for finances for that, there are other options, other landscapes and platforms where you can grow your skill base and get accredited certificates and little diplomas and stuff like that. Well, not little diplomas, but diplomas. So I happen to love Udemy. So I go onto Udemy, and there's just so many courses, classes, diplomas, certificates on so many subjects. You know, if you wanted to sort of dip your toe in a number of different learning areas and see what catches your imagination and makes you really fired up, because you have to be fired up to succeed. You cannot be half-assed about something. You've got to be so focused and so excited that you're not going to stop until it works. So I think that's a really safe way to just get an idea of what floats your boat, because then if you find a course on there, you do it as, they're usually around about $20 for a course. So it's really affordable, because there's so many learners around the world doing it. The prices are not high. And then that means you can then say, look, I've got a gifting in this area. I feel really good about doing XYZ. And then you can look into doing, say, a TAFE course or a sound engineering course, or, you know, maybe going to singing lessons or join a band, you know, take those steps then to sort of get your foot in the door of what really makes you passionately excited. In the arts, it's difficult at the moment. You need to have a fallback. You need to have something else that's keeping the rent paid, which is very important. And those sort of jobs need to be very flexible jobs. So you've got to start looking at what industries fit your need to be able to go rehearse, to leave early, to travel to gigs, things like that. And that's something very personal that you would have to do on your own. You'd have to really look and assess what's available and what you're good at.
Well, I guess at this point in time, we're pretty lucky. Well, if you have a car and a license, you can always do Uber Eats and Uber.
Yeah, there's lots of options.
Like I don't personally do that. I know some people that do it, and you know, they might work, you know, the general, you know, all 9 to 5, 5-day a week thing, but then they want a bit extra cash, so they're going out and doing that, which is nice, you know, and it's not taxing on the brain at all. But yeah, the job flexibility to be able to also go and do the other things that you need to do, that's definitely a hard thing to find.
So I'm on Fiverr. These are all new things to me, so that's I'm sort of just starting that journey as well. So I've signed up for Fiverr, and I'm really looking into that. I've signed up to another, I think it's called Blue Thumb, and that's for artworks. So I can actually create artworks and place them up there for sale. It's like the world's biggest online gallery, and the sales are pretty good. There's lots of different websites sort of doing these sort of short, quick jobs that bring in cash, you know, that bring in money. So it's really worth doing even just Google searches, keyword searches, and see what comes up. And then whatever you do, stick with it. Don't do 500 things, and that coming from me. Hone it down. That's been a thing I've had to learn. That's been my whole COVID life lesson, has been simplify it down to a handful of things that you enjoy, and then be good at those things and market those things and be known for those things. Because a lot of creative people just spread themselves really thin, and then people don't know what they are. So people can't help you or tag you or let you know about stuff because they can't define you. So I think that's another little golden nugget there, is that you need to be definable, and not in a way that restricts your creativity, but in a way that allows people to tag you, file you away, and, you know, put you in the correct places at the right time.
Definitely.
I wish I'd had that advice 20 years ago.
Even better, you got it now.
I just gave it.
100%. So just to sort of recap, you know, so Udemy, how do you spell that?
It's Udemy.
So,
and you can learn on your mobile device. The only thing that you need to be able to do is download the PDF workbooks and go get them printed. I have a box full of them, and I'm going through them. I go old school. I sit there with my highlighter and pen and write, you know, I love it, man. Just gaining knowledge is like so exciting.
We're so lucky to live in this time, right? Where we
very much.
And so what's the other one? So you said Fiverr was good as well. So
Fiverr's pretty good.
It's commission-based work, right? Blue Thumb?
So Fiverr, it's almost like a marketplace where you write down every single thing that you can do, every skill, and you can define it quite narrowly and put it down, and you have sort of ads on your page. And then there'll be people who are buyers, and they'll type in a search word, and then everyone comes up who's offering something in line with what they want. Then they choose whoever they want, and you get paid whatever. Nice. It's pretty good. Like some of the things up on there are a couple $100 for one thing, you know, like write a short jingle. Some people can do that in their sleep, or you know, do a digital profile picture for someone for $10. Like there's so many different jobs on there, and it's so much fun as well.
Which I think this brings me to my sort of next sort of question / topic is, so originally I had I watched one sort of YouTube short, and I really loved it. And he's like, how do you become a millionaire? He's like, well, you make $10. All right. Now, however you made that $10, doesn't matter how you make it. You go and do that 10 times. That's $100. And then he says, all right, so now you've been able to make $10 into $100 by replicating it. All right. Now go and do that. Exactly what you did to get $100, do that 10 times. It's $1,000. And what you do is you go and do that 10 times. That's $10,000, then $100,000, then $1 million. It's that quick, you know? And then the second thing, Valuetainment, I've been watching a lot of his stuff lately, and he talks about in business, it's a game of doubles. So if you invest something, you know, you say you maybe you invest in an artwork or something, you know, how can you double your money from that? You know, so the reason I bring this up is, you know, how have you found is a great, easy, replicable way across any of the creative industries or any industry to make that $10, the most easiest replicable way you can think of? How can people at home make $10?
Be the fastest one. Be first in the gate. Be the first one to connect with a client one-on-one and offer them exactly what they need, so they don't look at the 400 comments on their post offering the same thing you are. Get in the gate, talk to them directly. That's my biggest advice I can give. That's how I net 98% of my jobs, is by connecting with them, genuinely connecting. Don't go in and be a creep. Genuinely just be very professional, have everything ready. You know, if you are in a sort of position where you create infographics, so say like just one PNG or JPEG, and it has a picture, it has text telling them everything they need to know in one glance. That's also nice. You can sort of greet them and then you just pop an infographic in, and just say, let me know if this is what you're looking for. You're more likely to get the job than all the people yapping with all their links and stuff. It's overwhelm.
Yeah. So I guess it comes down to like relationships.
And definitely relationship building. If you really genuinely connect with each client, you've got to treat each client like they're the most special person on earth, and genuinely feel that way. Like it's something you have to actually make a decision about, that you're going to care for each person you serve. Because you are serving. Every time you do a job for someone, you're serving them, you're making their life better, and your job is to make their life a little easier and fulfill a need that they have. That's your job. It doesn't matter if you're singing a song, doesn't matter what, you know. And if you can maintain that feeling, and that person always thinks of you and goes, hey, last time I spoke with Axel, man, I felt so good. Like I laughed, I felt really cared for, like, and dude, this guy arrived on time. Everything was so good. There was nothing left behind. You know, the service was impeccable. You're going to get 3-4 years worth of work as time goes, because 100%. They'll keep every year. They'll be like, oh yeah, Axel was awesome. Let's use them again. It's this client focused service based feeling that you need to have, especially micro businesses.
100%. It's 100% of my work is because of that.
It's connection. It's networking and connection.
I've never advertised. I've never spent money on advertising. But what I have done is I've bought people coffee, you know, I sat down with them and got to know them, and it's actually very true. You know, whether you're doing an artwork or singing a song, and it doesn't matter if it's on the street busking, you know, at the end of the day, the market needs either goods or services, you know, and both of them have to help people, you know. So it's when you think about it, it's quite a loving, caring sort of system, you know.
It has to be.
Otherwise no one's going to want to work with you if you're just there to rip them off. You know, you might make millions of dollars, but people are also going to be like, I actually don't want to even know that person, you know? So like going into every job, I think that's really important, that you go, how can I serve you? How can I make your life easier?
Exactly.
You know, whether it doesn't matter what you're doing. I remember even when I was doing cleaning for work, you know, and I'd say to the boss, how can I make your life easier? Those words right there change the game for you immediately, because, you know, imagine if someone came up to you and said, I want to help you. How can I make your life easier? You know, you're going to go, I could use a bit of a hand doing this. And now you've just created a need for your services. You know, so
it's awesome. It's awesome. So I had an opportunity. I used to run MEBA, Mums in Business, back in the day, and the Central Coast chapter, and it was a global group, and we got to listen to some really, really rich, successful business people giving talks every month. And the one theme that just struck home is exactly what we've been talking about now. And this lady just said, fulfill a need, just see a need, fill it. And then just keep that as your niche, and that's the need you fill. And everyone will remember that you do that, and they will come to you for that thing. Whether you're a bricklayer and everything on your page has got a brick on it. And you wear brick t-shirts and you post brick memes and everything's brick. Everyone, all of your friends, if you've got say 1,000 mates, every single time they see your bricklayer post, who are they going to remember? Bricky, you know, they're going to know.
I was thinking of his name was Bricky, like they give him the nickname Bricky.
Exactly. So, you know, it's so important to, as a micro business, to also call out to your connections, your friends. So don't ever sell to your friend group on Facebook or anywhere. That's not your audience.
Yeah,
they're your helpers. So let them know and ask them to share, because you might get a sale here and there from friends, but the majority of your income is going to be from strangers. But your friends are going to be the ones that tag you and connect you to those strangers. People make a mistake of pushing to their friends. They also, on their page full of likes, they push to the likers and followers as if they are the audience. They're also not the audience. They just like your page. They're the conduit to people who may need it. So they're the ones who share your content with their own words, and then their friends see it, and you get this organic reach happening. That's where the gold is. You know, you don't want people. I noticed with my clinic page, when I first started, I was so excited. I was like a puppy on their page, man. I was just posting so much stuff. But the way I was phrasing everything made people feel that if they commented, I was going to give them a link to book. And it just shut down discussion. So I changed the way I did my posts, and sometimes I'm learning, because it's an ever-changing landscape. Oh my God. 100%. Between the algorithm and people not seeing stuff, and oh my gosh, you've got to work out that sweet spot of how do you communicate to the point where those people are sharing your stuff. That's what you want. You don't want bookings on your page, you want shares. And a really good hot tip, like a hot tip.
Get your pen and paper.
At the moment, this is so like literally, I've heard this now from 3 different influencers that have told me, oh my God, look at these numbers, and showed me the numbers compared to normal posts. And it's just 10 to 100 times more views. You need to be using Instagram Reels.
Without a doubt.
Reels today, Mark Zuckerberg, the old Zuck, he posted on his page on Facebook that Reels is now being integrated more fully into Meta, into Facebook. And they're making it so that Reels is the main driving force of Facebook. If you do TikToks, Reels is similar. There's going to be a whole lot of editing software available within the Reels system. You will be able to monetize your Reels so that you can earn. They're trying to make it so that Reels takes so that all the people back from TikTok. So it's TikTok, everyone's going, here's my, Cash App or whatever. Whereas Facebook is going to go, no, you don't need Cash App. You can earn right here. Post and earn straight away. So I literally, on my calendar for today, it's so cute. It goes, learn about Reels, because I'm doing it. And then I had heard this from these people. And then I think it was yesterday or the day before, my 14-year-old, he's an incredible digital artist. Like he does commissioned work from all around the world. And his stuff looks like it can wake up and breathe. Like he's so talented. And he said to me, he said, oh my God, my posts at the moment get like, maybe 300 views. And he said, I just posted a reel of the same thing, and it's like almost 3,000 views or something crazy like that. And he was like, damn, you need to get on a Reels. And I was like, whoa, so that's really worth it. You can do art, progress shots. You can do singing and drumming. You can do anything, just talking about what you are about. You need to be comfortable in front of a camera and just love who you are and love what you look like, and not care about anything. There's people literally sitting in a filthy room, just mess and clutter everywhere, talking about their passion, and it's getting 300,000 views, and they're getting bookings. So you don't have to be in this perfect, pristine environment where everything is just gorgeous and, modeled. Just be real. People are so sick of the bullshit. I'm sorry for swearing, but they want reality. So that's a huge challenge, to be real, because you have to strip away all your layers and protections and all these things and constructs. You got to let it go.
Will Smith said it when it's like, it's a very different world now. Like, if you're not genuine and authentic, you're going to get called out for it. You can't hide behind marketing and advertising, like PR team saying, this is who this person is. It's like, Britney Spears is a virgin, she's 45 years old. It's like, nah.
No.
No. So,
I mean,
so that's it.
yeah.
You know, you got to be authentic. And
because even Hollywood's changed. All these superstars, they're cooking fried eggs in their kitchen with their child holding the phone, you know, and they're showing you their breakfast, and they're in their pajamas, and they're messy and mussy. And but 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you only would have seen them in a film and at a ceremony, like done. Now the world is different. People are desperately craving content to watch, and they want that immediate what is it called? It's not a serotonin, it's the other one, dopamine.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible, but you're wanting that dopamine hit to happen with your content.
100%.
And that's the challenge. You've got to work out what that is.
So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a bit of insight and a little bit of techniques and stuff that you can use for your shorts. So I'm actually focusing a lot on YouTube at the moment. Now, if you go onto YouTube, type in Ed Sheeran shorts. Okay, so Ed Sheeran's done a deal with YouTube, and he's basically promoted all of his videos, all of his music videos in shorts, which are basically reels, which are basically TikToks, which are basically stories, whatever you want to call it, the 9x16. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you go on there, he's like, I was saying this for so long, and then Ed Sheeran does it. Think about it like it's like your commercials on your TV. You know, when you watch TV or you're watching YouTube and the ads pop up, yeah? So now you have that power without even having to pay for it, because how often do you just sit there and just look at reels or shorts or whatever, or TikToks, and you just sit there and scroll, right? So now it's like, this is where you advertise your content. Okay. So the couple of things that you can do. One is put text. Put some sort of text in there or some captions. Captions are great as well.
Captions captions improve the viewing by up to 75%. If you have captions, especially on reels, the captions can do the big words, little words. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
The viewer will stay longer than 3 seconds. You'll get at least 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and then so the other thing is, one thing I found, it's gonna sound terrible. So a lot of I've reached about 1,000 views on my shorts on YouTube. Okay, I got one video that went to 3,500 views, and what it is me rolling my ankle. So I rolled my ankle, and then I just replayed it and zoomed in each time I replayed it, and it's like came up on the screen, RIP. 3,500 views. And I was like, that's my best one to date so far. But having that content, having that emotion attached to it, it's like, because when you see it, you feel it. You know, when you see something like, oh, I know what that feels like. Yeah. So that emotional response is so important. So like, think about what kind of emotional responses that you're trying to get, whether it's, honestly, you could be busking, all right, and having a bad day, and you could turn that lemon into lemonade, and you film a short video of it in the morning, all right, with nothing in your thing, and then the time, and then you flash forward, it's like 10 hours later, you're still going, and still nothing in there, and you're like, F in the chat or something, so and that that emotional response, because we all will have that empathy, we have that, like, oh man, that must suck, think about things like that. Like, one thing I don't like, I really despise is a hard word, I just don't like it, is all the fake setup shorts. It's like, they're obviously fake, and
I scroll so fast.
Yeah. I'm just like,
something's in the pasta. There's something in the bottom of the pot, and 3 minutes later it's a noodle, and you're like, seriously, we literally can't get my life back right now. So you've got to really look around. I feel like you need to go onto all the platforms that you want to use. You need to do hashtag searches. Hashtags that have to do exactly with what you're about, and then watch what others are doing. Watch them. Look at the ones that are getting lots of views. Write down what they're doing. Look at the background. Look what they're wearing. It sounds crazy, but it's a skill. You have to almost study how to be effective in these videos. Like, that's what I've been doing. I'm now on, I think, week 4 of using my TikTok. And every week while I'm watching, every time I see one that makes me kind of giggle or react, I'm like, people who need to connect with me need to have the same sense of humor as me. They
Mm.
need to be on my wavelength, same energy. If I'm going to be a therapist and connect with any of them, they've got to be vibing with me, man. We've got to be really hitting it off. So the minute I see something I love, I just go, I can do that. And I save the link in a Google Keep folder or whatever. And then one day a week, I sit for 3 hours and I just do TikToks. I save them and I record them. And they say you need to move the camera, you need to have different backgrounds, you need to change your shirt. So I have all of that set up. And it's actually one of the best times of my week is where I just sit down and I get to be goofy. I'm having so much fun. I've even started, singing some of my favorite jazz pieces, opera pieces, just to like remember my voice in a couple of years time, like what I sound like. And then I always have my what I am. So in the corner somewhere it says, "Hi, I'm Axel. I'm a clinical psychotherapist and hypnotherapist, survivor of teenage and child abuse and long-term narcissistic relationships." That's what it says. That's my calling card. And people go, wow, okay, so I can talk to you about X, Y, Z, and you are this. And I put that on every single TikTok now. So, and then I also have learned it off by heart. So when I do speaking ones, I say, "Hey, I'm Axel," and I say my calling card. And then I say what I want to say. Telling you, it's been an interesting journey looking at what is successful and what isn't.
Definitely. All right. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your hypnotherapist? My mouth, but
I heard ask, but anyway, you do you.
Each to their own.
no judging here. I'm a therapist. I'm impartial to everything. So before I do that, I just wanted to also give that another golden nugget for any entrepreneurs and sole traders out there. Doing finances and tax is always the bane of every sole trader's existence, because most of us who are not in Monday to Friday employment, our brains work differently. We just are a different breed. People who work for themselves are crazy, man. And a lot of us are not good at finances. We're not good with tax and withholding tax and putting it aside, because often we are living paycheck to paycheck, and it can be difficult when you have pressing financial needs and then there's that tax money saved up and then you use it. And I know this is a thing because I've spoken to a lot of people and sole traders. So I did a lot of research when I launched my clinic. So I use Halaxy software for all of my scheduling and booking as a clinician. Halaxy, Halaxy, like galaxy, but Halaxy. So if you are a sole trader, if you are in any type of therapeutic business, you can use Halaxy. It's like a doctor's thing. It's fantastic for booking and scheduling. And then for finance, I immediately knew I needed to find sort of a taxman / accountant, but automated, that I could just literally direct all my income through them and then everything's taken care of. So I found Henry, which is HNRY. And I can't tell you how fantastic it's been. It is incredible. So it gives you your own bank account. So Henry banks with NAB. So you get your own banking details that goes straight to your Henry. Everything that you earn goes straight through Henry. They immediately take your tax off and keep it for you and then pay you out what you're allowed to enjoy. So you can actually just use whatever comes into your bank account. You never have to stress about tax. And then at the end of the tax year, you've got all your finances in one place. Every single income outcome is all on Henry. There's no more looking for ticket stubs and banking statements and everything. And then you can also do all your invoicing, your quotes. You can save all of your clients' details on there for communications and connections. So good, man. And it gives you a proper pay slip as if you work for a company. So if you want to buy a car and they need to see a pay slip or some sort of history, it's all here. And as a sole trader, it's hard having to prove that you have a job, but to have Henry, you have everything at your fingertips to basically validate you as a person who's working for themselves.
It's like having an admin office.
It is my own secretary. And then they have people online from 9 to 5 that answer instantly. Anything you need done, they're so proactive. They get in there. And then at the end of the year, their tax man is something like $60 to $100 cheaper than any of the local bookkeeping firms. I get it all done cheaper. and I haven't had to worry about tax the whole year.
Yeah.
And all my invoices, all my quotes, all my pay slips are all in one place. All my expenses are logged.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is mwah.
Mwah. Henry.
Mwah. It is like the best
and
pizza
affordability?
ever.
Affordability?
It's free. They take 1% or something of everything you get paid. It's seriously so worth it, man.
So just so
I hardly notice it.
Just so everyone knows, I'm not sponsored by any of these people. Are you sponsored by any of these people? They're paying you to say this? No?
No.
Well, there you go. Hey, so
not
it's
at all.
you know, there's no hidden agenda here, and it's just, you know, this works.
Yeah.
So
I literally send them love letters like every now and then just through the chat. Like,
yeah,
I don't really have a problem. I just love you guys. They're like, oh, thank you, Axel. They're like, we don't know what to do with you, weirdo.
Give me your money.
I know. So so my clinic is I have a beautiful room where I do the actual hypnosis if people come to me. And I bought the most beautiful day bed. Like the mattress on that thing, it's like a spinal support mattress. I lie on there and I'm unconscious. I'm like, damn, it's so good. With all beautiful, colorful cushions everywhere, and all the walls are covered in my paintings. It's just really beautiful space. And then for my online sessions, I'm in here in my office. And so I have clients from all over the world. All you need pretty much is your phone and a set of headphones. You know, you can be literally anywhere that there's digital, you know, reception, and you can do therapy, which is quite helpful. So my website is thestarviking.com, THE and then STARVIKING, Starviking.
You can see it down below.
Yeah.
I don't know which side. You're probably on this side. This side.
And
then mine says Elijah Stevenson, but yours says thestarviking.com/Axel. Don't worry about the /Axel.
And then just on all social media, I'm the Starviking. So anywhere you go, just
pretty
look up the Starviking. Yeah, easy to find. And I really love it. So I do sort of traditional psychotherapy, which is sort of talk therapy. And then I use Gestalt therapy and neuro-linguistic programming, cognitive behavioral therapy in that. And then I do hypnosis as well, which is so beautiful, so rewarding. I love past life regressions. So freaking cool. Sometimes it's like going back in time. Sometimes it's aliens, man. We just never know what's going to come out. Sometimes it's intense. And then I'm busy studying the tapping technique and
AFT.
And I've just qualified EMDR, the eye movement desensitization. Just so excited. I've got a couple diplomas that I'm busy studying for in all different modalities, because I kind of just want to be so well equipped that whatever somebody brings to me, I'm able to hold them and really assist them and kind of tap into all the things I've learned and give them the best experience they could possibly have in a therapeutic environment.
So I used to have very uninformed views on hypnosis. I thought, one, it's bullshit. I thought, two, like, if it was real, I was going to get put under in this trance, not know what I'm doing. They're going to make me run around like a chicken and film me, and then they're going to do stuff to me while I'm asleep or something. So I don't know, right? And I had no idea of what it actually is until I watched a podcast, the Andrew Huberman Lab podcast, and he was talking about what hypnosis actually is and how it was actually better. You got better results doing hypnosis than you did from any mindfulness practice. And that goes for like, I think they compared it to like monks in a monastery meditating. They got better results from hypnosis than they did. So just for people at home, can you sort of explain in layman's terms what hypnosis is and what it isn't?
So hypnosis isn't mind control. I can't control anybody, and I can't put thoughts or feelings or decisions in a person's mind unless they absolutely align with that person's core beliefs. Do you know what I mean? So I can't say, oh, you're going to start stealing cars. Like every time you see a car, you're going to know exactly how to break in and get it, because the person would go, that doesn't align with my core values. everything I say is always for the better of the person, to help them achieve whatever it is they've told me they desperately want to achieve, or healing for something. But their brain will only take in and use what aligns with them and what they are ready to do. And if they're not ready, they'll stop whatever new behavior they've started until they're actually heal whatever triggers and traumas are behind that behavior. And then they'll find that they're able to then actually do the thing they really want to do. What happens with hypnosis is, the way I describe it is very layman's terms. We've got our main conscious brain, the way we think and decide, and it's all the way we feel and everything we do, that's all processed in our main consciousness. And then we have a subconscious brain, a subconscious mind, and that's the part of us that just houses all of our stories, our history, the reasons why we do things, those photographic moments and memories that come through. The core memories are stored there, and that's
where our dreams live.
Yeah, that's where our trauma also has a stronghold. Our PTSD and trauma and anxiety live there. And so what happens is that really conscious brain is so busy all the time that it doesn't always allow the subconscious to really process those traumas. It just holds them there. And then if something triggers you, frontal brain just goes, let's just, totally overreact right now, hyperventilate, anger, stressing out, crying, all the drama, shaking.
I've never done any of that.
Like all of it. Just, we're going to run with this now. And the subconscious is like, we're freaking out. So what happens with hypnosis is that we get that really constant, loud, busy voice to just go to sleep. And it just goes really quiet and it just rests. But it rests in a way that when the person wakes up, they feel incredible. And some people sleep for hours after. Because they're just like, whoa, I can actually really rest, And then once that sort of busy mind just quietens down and goes to sleep, and the person has to do that. I can only say the words. They have to choose to do it and allow it to happen. I then can talk directly to that subconscious mind, and we can safely bring up those traumas and just wash them clean. It can even be as simple as us say, right, let's lift it up now. Now dip your cloth into the warm soapy water. Let's just wash all the dirt off. Let's polish it up. How beautiful does it look now? Look, it's like a crystal vase. It isn't just this big black lump of coal. And then let's put it on a windowsill and let the sun shine through. Like all these beautiful visuals. And when the person wakes up, the trauma's gone. Because it's been washed away. The subconscious goes, oh, thank God. That's all we needed to do, man. Because memories aren't real. They're not a table. They're not here. They're all just in our mind. And the brain can be almost tricked into thinking that we've just washed it away. So the brain is like this cute little person that lives in our head, and it really does believe what we tell it. And one of the things I love was where you can pretend that you eat a burger, but like if you really pretend and you imagine it's there and you bite it and you chew and swallow, your stomach will release acid. Like, oh yeah, this burger is great, man. But there's no burger. And so with trauma, we remember that time dad smacked us across the face, and then the heart palpitations come in, and we're so mad. Oh my God, he slapped me. And the brain goes, ow, he just slapped us. Like the brain thinks it's now. So hypnosis gets rid of those memories, really just washes them out, and they're there, but they don't have that same reaction anymore.
And it gives you a safe place to face these things, because a lot of that stuff is we run from it. We don't, and it does come up, we sort of shy away from it. Very rarely do we go, I'm here, I'm gonna do this. I'm here, and that's what I found with hypnosis and the guided hypnosis and stuff. One of the things that we did actually when we did it was the movie screen. It's powerful, and you separate yourself from the memory, and it comes on a movie screen, and it sort of drifts away further from you. And then it's like almost like that emotion, that sensation, those feelings, those memories no longer reside within your body, but as they're on a screen, they're separate from you now. And then you can sort of, just watch the movie end, the curtains close and things like that. And, I think doing these sorts of things, very closely aligned with business. with creativity, with relationships, with everything we've talked about today. Because, you know, if we're not trying to be the best in ourselves, and when I say that, I mean like taking care of ourselves, you know, eating healthily, trying to get good sleep, dealing with our emotional issues, you know, whatever it is, you know, if we don't do that stuff, the relationships that we form aren't going to be as good as they could be. The work that we do isn't going to be as good. You know, the whatever the songs that we try and write may not turn out as good as they could have been, you know?
Yeah.
So if we're operating at a level where we're more productive, more healthy, and all that kind of stuff, you know, we're going to create some amazing things, you know.
If there's too much cortisol in the brain, if there's too much stress, if your stress levels are too high, people don't realize emotions are chemicals too. Our feelings are all chemical or electrical. So if you are anxious, angry, stressed, down, frustrated, your brain is going to release chemicals and hormones that keep that going. And that is contradictive to creativity. You can't be creative while you're absolutely freaked out. Not sustainably. You know, you might write some amazing, powerful, angsty piece of music. You can't do that for a whole album. You'll hurt yourself, you know. You need to be in a good mental space to be able to create, and then also to be able to market yourself, because it's a big, hard world out there and there's a lot of competition. And if you aren't in a good mental space, you're going to freak out, because you have to be so confident, so brave, so sure of who you are. And I've said this earlier, you got to love yourself, man. You got to really love yourself. And that is a practical thing. You can even hug yourself, just hug yourself. And, or like they say, there's another thing called the havening technique, which is a type of therapy. You can stroke your face, just lovingly stroke your face and stroke your arms. And they've proven by doing tests, or, you know, the thing stuck on your head, whatever, they've proven that it changes the wave of the brain to a delta wave. And delta wave, you cannot have anxiety while the brain is in a delta state. So by just stroking and loving your face and your arms, and even just rubbing your hands, you will physically remove anxiety from your brain in the form of the chemicals and hormones that are happening. I don't know if the hormones is the right word, but I know.
I know what you're chemicals. Saying. I've seen them do a similar thing where they, the study was basically they were saying how they're showing how language, we came from not being able to talk to each other to using language, and what we used to do before talking was grooming. You see like monkeys grooming each other, animals grooming each other. And what happens is, say you get someone playing with your hair, you know, when your partner or something just plays with your hair, you play with your partner's hair or something, doing that relieves so much stress and that from the partner. And sort of how we replaced it with language was small talk. So, you know, maybe it might not be that physical touch that you have someone doing that. Maybe it's you going out with a friend and just talking crap, you know.
And you can do the physical touch to yourself in a loving way, and your brain doesn't understand that it's you. It's so cute. The brain, honestly, the more I study, the more I'm like, dude, you like a little model pony, man. It's so cute. Like, honestly, just even patting yourself, like just patting your chest like that. Your brain is like, oh, I'm being held like a baby. Oh, it's wicked. And then the brain reacts just like the stomach made stomach acid. Your brain sends all these love hormones like, whoa, I'm just feeling so good, man. You need to just be practicing self-love in a very practical way. You know?
That's the EFT, the tapping that you were talking about before. I learned that years ago. And I just showed my partner, and I was like doing this to her, and she's like,
yeah, man, it's so amazing how you react. I hope Jazz doesn't kill me, but she struggles to sleep sometimes, and I'll just say to her, okay, just lie down, I'm gonna pat your chest, and I put my hand there, and I do like 5 pats, and she's gone. And I go, whoa. She's like, she said just that touch just like settles her and anchors her, and then the patting, that's all she needs to go into a beautiful sleep. We crave touch, like soft, gentle, loving touch, you know. And
the more you do it, the more you do these sorts of things, the better you get at them. And like the more your brain just goes, oh, I remember this. And it goes into that mode of relaxation as well. So it's the more you do it, the more you get out of it, you know.
So like I have a pretty hectic history. Like my whole story is, teenage and child domestic violence, and then the progressive long-term narcissistic relationship. So I've had a lot of horrible stuff happen. And as a result, I will be triggered by the weirdest things. My brain just will decide the weirdest things. So the most recent one, and I'm very open about it because we have to be open about these things. That's the only way that it normalizes mental health. And I don't have any issue, but there was, my ex was very was slanderous about me on social media, and then all of our friends went on and just named and shamed me like the most awful way. And all of a sudden my brain took the profile picture color scheme from a distance of this ex. So it's the whatever the color scheme is from a distance, seeing it. And everyone who has that color scheme on their profile picture, I have a trauma response as I'm scrolling. And I didn't realize. And I was in my room yesterday and I went, oh, you brain, seriously? Like, no. No. We're not going to have a reaction to every single profile picture that has blue and green in, okay? It's fine. And so I did the EMDR. So I shut my eyes, I visualized that thing, and I did my eyes from left to right while thinking of that profile picture. And by the end, there was no reaction anymore. It's gone.
That's cool. I'm just trying to think of the color scheme of my profile picture, but it's black and white, so it's fine.
But it's just amazing just knowing all of these little techniques and things, and you can learn them from a therapist. Even if you go for 2 or 3 sessions, you've got stuff you can use for the rest of your life, and it can help you when things get really stressful. That's why a lot of artists are on some pretty hectic drugs. Like there's a lot of cocaine use and stuff in the arts, because the energy levels needed are really intense, and the scrutiny constantly is very intense. Social media can become really harsh because people are ugly online, and then you're reading stuff about yourself. It's not easy. But it's better to find out proper therapeutic coping techniques instead of turning to like alcohol, drugs, obviously,
Which, look, ultimately, like they might work short term, but long term, you're going to destroy your relationships. You're going to destroy your own health. And I'm yet to meet someone that said, oh yeah, I've been drinking for years and it's been great.
I love that cocaine.
I love that cocaine. It's my favorite. Hold on a sec.
It's bad. It's bad.
But like, which sort of, I was sort of thinking about, I was talking with he's quite a successful business owner, and does a lot of consulting work and runs a lot of businesses, that kind of stuff. And because I'm sure you're like me, you go from one meeting to the next, to the next, to the next. And like some days your days can be like flat, and then other days you're like, I need to be in 9 different places at 9:30.
That's why I have a calendar on my watch. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't want to miss it.
So like, and obviously like between each thing, you're building up this stress. This stress is, so by the time you get to the last one, you've had 95 coffees and you're like, let's do this. Well, that's what I do anyway. So he was telling me on a way that he sort of maintains his like settles his mind between meetings and stuff. And while he's in the car, he puts on classical music. Something out of the ordinary.
I love that.
And so in between all these meetings, puts classical music on in the car. I tried classical music, but I was like, I just can't get into it. So now I put on like music I enjoy, and between each of my things, even before this podcast started, I've got, actually it's on my TV, I can see it. It says Travis Barker, Let's Go with Yellow Twister, Busta Rhymes, and Little John. And I'm like, I'm just going to enjoy a little bit of music before I do this. Because before this, I was writing my book. Before that, I was at a doctor's appointment. Before that, I was at the gym. So it's like boom, 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 boom. And then after this, I got to go teach young kids boxing. So
it's just nonstop.
So I try to find time to, the way I look at it is having that something that you enjoy that relaxes you in between it. It doesn't always have to be go, 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 go.
You've got to disengage a little bit. It's important.
And sort of just forget about what's coming up next. You're going to be there. There's no reason for you to stress between that point and this point about that particular thing. might as well relax, get happy, have a good time, and then do it, you know, because you're going to be in a much better frame of mind.
Yeah.
You know, do you have any little techniques or something that people can take home, say they're going from one meeting to the next, or just before a gig or something like that? Is there something a practical tool that you can give people, you know, from the psychotherapy sort of side or the hypnotherapy side, that they can implement in their life?
Well, I have got a YouTube channel, and I've got hypnotherapy on there that's free forever. You just plug and play anywhere you are. You can just shut your eyes and sit back. And I've got a beautiful one for anxiety reduction. It's only 15 minutes, so it's really quick.
Yep.
And it'll take your anxiety from like a 7 or 9 down to a 1 or 2. So it's really fast. I think for me, I just prefer listening to a good binaural music set. Sometimes there's some gorgeous ones in different kilohertz that have got all sorts of different effects on the brain, which can calm my thoughts, because I'm also a little bit neurodivergent as well. So it's really nice having certain sounds, especially sort of surround sound stuff, just really just takes me down to a calm space. Remember to ground yourself physically. So like I said, we can measure electrical current in our bodies. You know how you can sometimes zap someone if you're walking in the mall on the tiles, you like a blue light literally arcs out of my fingertips. It's really fun. So we need to also ground ourselves. So that's taking off your shoes, going out into the garden and standing on ground, and just actually standing on earth and earthing yourself. It'll feel amazing. So it's good to have a space you could just go look at the sky, sit with your feet on the ground, or lie down on the grass under a tree. You need to take even those 5-10 minutes and put the phone away, switch your phone off completely. You will feel freaked out when you do that, because there's a dopamine addiction with everybody with their phones. You cannot escape it. Our brains are these amazing little kids that just want the lolly, and the phone is the lolly all the time. So when you actually switch that phone off and put it aside, you're going to want to put it on and check, and you just have to say no, and just relax.
I know. I'm speaking of which, there are six notifications from Signal to Messenger to Instagram to all that.
My whole phone is just lit up with stuff,
and I'm just like, give me my precious.
my phone's evil, because when I have the screen shut down, if I get anything, it makes a beautiful rainbow swish around the outside of the screen, like, hi, someone loves you. But I put it on silent and no vibration. It's just been going rainbow, and I'm like, damn you, man.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. As much as there's a lot of positive things that can come out of it, like we're talking about, you know, different things like, is Henry on an app as well on your phone? Can you do Henry from an app?
There's an app. It's amazing.
So, Henry, Udemy. I use Coursera to upskill, because you can do like free courses then as well.
Oh wow,
so Coursera was the other ones. We're talking about Fiverr. I know there's a Fiverr app, Blue Thumb. You know, and then if you want print on demand, there's like Redbubble, and even there's heaps of alternatives too that do heaps more different products. But all this is available on your phone. It's like, oh, I can't play guitar. Oh, how do I start a business?
It's amazing.
How do I reduce my anxiety before this meeting?
What time is this?
You know, so it's like it's such an amazing thing, but you know, there's also that you need to stop, put your phone down. Like I even struggle sometimes when I just go to the beach and have time by myself. I take my phone with me. Like mostly the thing I tell myself is, business. I need it for business. You know, I don't even allow myself that time to just. It's
hard having time without the phone. We don't know how to be bored anymore.
I've been actually.
We don't know how.
At night times I've been trying to practice, even if it's just 5 minutes. Just nothing, just laying in bed with nothing, you know, and just being with my thoughts. And it's like, you start thinking about stuff and it's like, oh yeah, I remember what that was like. That was a thing that we used to do.
Exactly. But you know, there's been days where I've switched my phone. I've blocked my calendar so no one can book me. And in that case, I do not need my phone. Anything can wait. And I'll put my phone off and put it in my room on silent.
Yeah.
And I'll go for a couple hours without it. When you don't have that constant dopamine hit, you freak out for a bit, and then you get bored because you suddenly will go, who's the president of Czechoslovakia? Oh, because the brain is like, give me lollies, give me lollies. Or like, what's the square root of pi? Like suddenly you need to know these things that are only on Google. And you'll get all frustrated. But I find those days when I start to like just let myself get a bit bored, that's when I'll paint something. That's when I'll get on the piano and sing for an hour, or I'll crochet, or go in the garden and fix the weeds and water everything. Like you suddenly go, oh, there's other things I could be doing. Because we actually waste hours of our life on the phone when we could be practically doing things in our environment to better ourselves.
Honestly, I think that is the number one productivity tip that I could give anyone is put your phone away. Schedule time when you do. Like I have one day a week that's my admin day. I don't book anything on that day, and I sit down. I don't use my phone. I go on my computer and I schedule everything for the week and all my posts, and I create content. And then the phone is just for like clients messaging me. It's for me if I get tagged in something, and then I'm the first one in the gate messaging them and connecting. And then just also having some downtime like TikTok and just things that just I don't have to think. I just want to stop. But then you've got to make that time that's totally technology free. It's so important. You know, I get so much done when I have no screens.
Exactly.
It's like, and you solve the problems that you have lingering over you all the time. You know, all of a sudden your house is clean.
Exactly.
You know? I think productivity, there's an app for that, right? The productivity, there's an app for that. But I think the best app is a no phone. You know, not even that. No phone, no computer, no TV. Turn all that off, and you watch how much you get done. You watch how many songs you write, how many drawings you do. You know, like. But
also pay attention to the emotions that happen. So when you do that, you're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel worried. You're going to want answers for stuff that you need a phone for. Your brain's going to go lolly, 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 lolly the whole time, and pay attention to it and then challenge it. Like, why? Why do you feel you need to know that right now? Come on, man. Here's the love. You're good. Let's go do something else. You know, it's time for practical application of that sort of self-love.
100%. That's so awesome. Hey, I love how we touched on so many topics, you know,
as per usual.
You know,
never a dull day when I see you.
Never a dull day. Never. You know, honestly, it's been an amazing journey with you. Geez, it's like I would say close to 10 years, because geez, I don't even know anymore. It's just like we're getting older, and it's just like me and Axel go way back. We're
it's almost 10 years. I think it's 3 years off. That's pretty good.
Pretty close.
A decade of awesome.
100%. Like from performing poetry and opera to EDM and
dressing up as an alien,
doing just everything, just being crazy people, you know, like
we've had fun
for 7 years, you know, and you know, it's we're talking about, you know, before we're talking about calling cards, you know, and I've always had a calling card for you. You know, anyone asks who's Axel, I'm just like, Axel is the most hardworking person in the creative industry. God. You know, like just fingers in every pie, can do anything. It's not a question of what can she do, it's what can't she do, you know. what can't Axel do? He will do anything, you know. $20 is $20.
making me blush, man.
You know, and honestly, it's been a pleasure. It really has, and it continues to be a pleasure working with you and being with you on all stages of your journey. Because, you know, if I'd have said to you, you know, 7 years ago that you'd be running a hypnotherapy clinic, you know, you're like, probably not, maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens.
No.
You know?
It's been a long journey to get to the point where I almost was able to give myself permission to just focus on one thing. Like I think just always having to hustle for every cent, as coming out of Africa, and the life I had there, man, running an arts company was just so wild, so wild. And then coming here, just always felt like I had to do too many things just to get by, whereas now I'm like, no, actually I can focus on just that little handful of things that bring me joy.
That little handful of things.
A little handful of things. It's like 5 things. But they all bring me joy. Like every single hobby. Because what I do is I say I have a full-time job. I'm a therapist, and then I have paying hobbies. So I got like 4 paying hobbies, and they bring me so much joy that it doesn't even feel like work, but it does help. What a ride, man.
It's been awesome. It really has been amazing. So I'll give people a little bit of a sneak peek, a little bit of a heads up onto my next guest that's going to be on All That Entertainment, also from South Africa. Do you know who it is?
I think I know. I can't remember his name, but I think I know who it is.
He used to have a record company.
Yes. You introduced him to me.
I introduced you to him?
At a terrible surf life-saving club.
Yes. And so
is it
Axel,
Andre?
Anton
close enough.
Anton Becker. And it's funny because I introduced you guys. I'm like, you guys need to know each other. It's like, please meet each other. Then we arranged that meeting, and it turns out that you were trying to get onto his record label. You were trying to be a part of it.
In the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah.
And I knew all of the people that were on his label. I was friends with all his bands, and because
he was quite successful, right? Like it was a very, very big label.
It was an amazing time. It was a really special time.
It was called Separata. So was it Sarepta? Yeah. Before he sold it to an American company and came to Australia. Yeah. So we're gonna have him on, and we're gonna have
he's awesome.
Oh man, like every time I sit down with him, you learn something new, and he's just got so much insight, and so because he's also a lawyer, he works in the industry, like the music industry, and he runs choirs as well, like manages choirs and public speakers, and he was actually a great mentor of mine for a few years there, and really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And it was just an amazing time to have you guys cross over as well. So.
It was really weird. It was like we're on the other side of the world, and we just have so many people in common. I was oh man, this is such a small world.
It is, and it only gets smaller. I was working on a chapter in my book, so I've written my book, and I've rewritten it, and then I've rewritten it. I think it's like I was saying the other day, it's like the 5th or 6th time I've rewritten it. And the chapter I was working on today was just be a good person, because no one wants to work with a dickhead, and I think that encapsulates quite a lot of what we're talking about today.
Perfectly succinct.
So that's pretty awesome. But look, we could probably skip off for another 6 hours, but I got stuff to do, and I'm sure you do too. So I just want to thank you, Axel, for coming on today.
No, it's a pleasure.
And love to have you on again, and even just catch up for a coffee or a burger night. Build your burger night.
Oh my god, that was so good, eh?
Yeah,
definitely got to do that again.
100%. And
awesome.
So where can we find you?
Starviking.com.
Yep. I'll superimpose it somewhere as well.
Yeah. When from my website, you can pretty much access everything you need to. And then my YouTube channel is Starviking Hypnotherapy. Even just typing in Starviking and hypnotherapy or Axel Starviking, you should find me on there. But yeah, awesome. That's it. Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, you can also find my personal channel, Elijah Stevenson, on YouTube, and hit subscribe on that. We're going pretty cool. We're almost at 100 subscribers.
Yay!
So you'll find everything to do with martial arts, and sit down, talk with different people, coaches.
So good.
Yeah. So it's been an awesome ride there as well. So but this channel as well is All That Entertainment, and we aim to sort of bring resources and information to people that are in the creative industries, people that are entrepreneurs, people that are working in business, just anyone who wants to really sort of have that personal development, personal growth in their life. I want to be able to bring, my passion is to see people grow, and no matter what walk of life they are, I think that they can always level up, and be that better person that they dream of. So I want to bring those resources free of cost to people. And I also do consulting and management as well, through all that entertainment.net. So hit us up, and
it's lovely having you.
I'll see you. I'll catch you later.
Have a great day.
You too. I'm actually gonna just stop.